Hello, I'm glad to see all of you who are interested in history and historical reenactment. My name is Daniel, and today we are going to talk about the ammo pouches and holsters which have been used by the Red Army during the Second World War. With the invention of a unitary cartridge for small arms, a need arose to create special bags for storing these cartridges. Firstly, various bandoliers have been used. However, the troops needed special cartridge bags that could hold more cartridges in a more compact manner. In addition, these bags were supposed to be located on the waist belts and protect the cartridges from dirt and moisture. So, various pouches for different types of weapons began to appear. The materials for fabrications were different: fabric, canvas, and mostly leather. The most popular weapon in the Red Army were the varieties of the Mosin rifles. Therefore, we will begin our acquaintance with the pouches for this rifle. This rifle held 5 rounds of 7.62 on 54mm cartridges. Often, soldiers received cartridges collected into a clip of 5 pieces. For ease of loading, the pouch had to be divided into sections, and each section had to be the same length as one clip. Back in 1938-1939, many units of the Red Army used Tsarist-style pouches. In addition, at the beginning of the Great Patriotic War, such pouches were given to various volunteer units or militias. This pouch was issued in 1891 along with the Mosin rifle. The pouch had 2 sections. One section held 3 clips or 15 rounds. One such pouch contained only 30 rounds. It opened inward, towards the soldier's body. With the introduction of the backpack in 1936, the pouch model 1891 was slightly modified. The design of the backpack required additional rings on the soldier's equipment to attach the backpack straps. Therefore, a hook ring was added to the pouch. Such pouches were produced only from 1936 to 1937, when it was replaced by a pouch of a different type. Such modified pouches are found in photographs of the beginning of the war among the regular army. In 1937, a new type of pouch was issued. This pouch served the Red Army throughout the war. In addition, the pouch with the same design was produced after the war, but with some small changes. The pouch had 2 sections. Each could hold up to 20 cartridges with clips. The pouches opened outwards. Each section was closed with a separate lid, to which was attached a strip of leather that secured the lid. Strips of leather could be sewn or attached with rivets. At the back, there was a ring for attaching the strap of a backpack. The pouch was attached to the waist belt. Mosin cartridges were issued not only in bulk or in clips. Soldiers could also receive ammunition in paper packets containing 15 rounds each. The pack was shaped to fit into a pouch. They entered in this way. In addition to the main pouches, soldiers could be given additional or spare options. They were made mainly from fabric. In instructions for soldiers or in photographs from the beginning of the war, you can see an additional pouch made of canvas. It was located under the main pouch and could hold 2 packs of cartridges or up to 40 loose cartridges. As the war progressed, there were not enough leather pouches for everyone. Therefore, spare pouches began to be produced from leftover canvas. They were issued instead of leather pouches. The capacity was about the same. According to the instructions of the Red Army, the commander of a rifle squad and many of squad's soldiers had to be armed with the Tokarev's self-loading rifle. SVT cartridges could be stored in bulk, in clips, or directly in additional rifle magazines. Accordingly, there were different types of pouches for SVT. The earliest was a leather pouch that held 2 magazines. There was a leather partition inside. Also, on the back of the pouch, there was a ring for hooking the backpack strap. In the summer of 1941, production of leather pouches ceased. They were replaced by universal canvas ones. This pouch could hold 1 magazine for SVT. This pouch was called universal as it could also be given to soldiers with a Mosin rifle. Sometimes you can find such pouches made of Kirza. In addition to the pouch for the SVT, a soldier with SVT received 1 Model 1937 ammo pouch and an additional pouch for the Mosin rifle. And one more thing which is worth mentioning: bandolier. The RKKA bandolier was made of canvas and made it possible to additionally carry several clips of 5 rounds each. The bandolier was worn over the shoulder. Since 1941, with full equipment, a bandolier could be carried in a bread bag. Further, we are going to talk about the pouches for the submachine gunners. During the Second World War, the Red Army used such submachine guns as PPSH-41, PPS-43, and PPD-40 or earlier versions. We will start with the most massive and called PPSH-41. PPSH-41 had 2 types of magazines, drum and box. Each type of magazine had its own pouches. The drum pouch looked like this. They were made of canvas. There was 1 magazine inside. The back of the pouch had loops for putting on a waist belt. There was also an earlier version of the belt mount, which also had a ring for attaching the strap of a backpack. A pouch for the box magazine looked like this. It contained 3 boxes. There were also loops at the back for attaching to a waist belt. PPS-43 had only box magazines. The pouch looked the same as the pouch for PPSH-41. The only difference could be the length of the pouch. PPS magazines are shorter than PPSH magazines. It's the same with pouches. PPD-40 and earlier types had mainly a drum magazine. The pouch for the PPD was the same in shape as for the PPSH, only slightly more elongated. The reason is that the PPD drum has a protruding part, which the PP shah drum does not have. It is worth mentioning that the PPD also had a box magazine, but at the moment it is not known for sure whether there was a pouch for this magazine and what it looked like. In addition to cartridge pouches, the Red Army soldiers wore grenade pouches. There were two types of grenade pouches. For only F1s and RG42s, and for RGD-33. There was also a unified grenade shovel pouch. A regular pouch for RGD-33 grenades looked like this. It was made of canvas, contained two RGD-33 grenades. In the absence of RGD-33, the soldiers could put 4 F1s or RG42 grenades in this pouch. Another type is a unified grenade shovel pouch. From the name, it is clear that this pouch was designed to carry a shovel and grenades at the same time. In essence, this case is a combined case for shovel and a pouch for RGD-33. Made from canvas, it had two compartments, one for a shovel, the second for grenades. Such pouches were produced mainly before the war, and later their production ceased. Firstly, they are more complicated to manufacture, and secondly, the combined weight of the shovel and grenades created an uneven load on the soldier. Some viewers may notice that in the photographs there were small grenade pouches for F1 or RG42 grenades. However, these pouches were intended exclusively for tank or armored vehicle crews. As a rule, ordinary soldiers did not carry such pouches, but there were very rare exceptions. The pouch for F1 or RG42 grenades looked like this. They were made from canvas and contained 3 grenades. This pouch was more compact and convenient than the other grenade pouches. These are the ammo and grenade pouches used by the Red Army during the Second World War. I want to remind reenactors to choose the right pouch for a certain reenactment and to always have a right number of pouches. Since we've mentioned the unified grenade shovel pouches, it's worth understanding which small sapper shovels were used in the Red Army and which holsters were for them. Sapper shovels first appeared at the end of the 19th century. Danish officer Mats Linnemann received a patent in 1870 for the infantry shovel he invented. The idea was so successful and necessary that by the First World War, almost all the infantry of the battling countries was equipped with similar shovels. In the Second World War, the situation was the same. All countries supplied their infantry with sapper shovels. During the Second World War, the Red Army mainly used 3 types of shovels: quadrangular or pentagonal, produced under Tsarist Russia; pentagonal Comintern shovels; and since 1944, pentagonal stamped shovels. Before 1944, shovels consisted of 2 parts that were riveted together and a ring to secure the shaft. In 1944, a new type of shovel was introduced, which served until the end of the USSR. Now, it was one stamped part instead of two. The production of such a shovel was faster and cheaper. Please note that these shovels are only suitable for reenacting 1944 and 1945. Some reenactors use such shovels even for 1941, which is incorrect. The covers for shovels also varied. Back in the 30s, the Red Army used leather covers for shovels left over from the Tsarist Russia. A little later, quadrangular, lightweight covers made of canvas for pentagonal shovels appeared. The cover looked like this. Before the war, it was made of canvas. During the war, it could be produced from tanned fabric. On the bottom, there was a special hole to insert the handle of the shovel. During the war, there were also different types of very simple covers, which have been produced under the shortage of materials. And I thank you for your attention. If you like this video, please like, subscribe on the channel, and leave comments. And store your ammo in pouches, not in pockets. I would like to especially thank the Kampf Replic store for providing copies of cartridge boxes and grenades. In this store, you can find very high quality copies of cigarette packs, matchboxes, food boxes, and most importantly, grenades. Here you can find copies for both First World War and the Second World War reenactment. The link to the site will also be in the description.